During the summer, we're reviewing 12 different board game apps for you to enjoy during your holidays. This is a great way to play games when your board game group is unable to meet, and it's also a fantastic way to discover new games. For a long time I wanted to try Sagrada, but I never took the time to actually do so. I was pleasantly surprised when I found the game app in the Play Store. Finally, I got the chance to play Sagrada. Let me tell you all about it.
As a skilled artisan, you will use cleverness and careful planning to craft a stained glass window in the Sagrada Familia. Players take turns selecting glass pieces represented by dice, carefully choosing where to place each one. Since similar dice may never be adjacent, placing each die becomes more challenging than the last. Fortunately, you'll have just the right tools to help you through. Gain prestige by crafting your stained glass window masterpiece in Sagrada.
For some games, an immersive story or an intriguing world is important, but the setting of Sagrada is mainly intended to provide context for the game mechanics. Although the stained glass theme doesn't have very much appeal to us, it does help to make the game's objectives and mechanics feel logical. For a filler game, the setting is fine. It is original, but not that engaging. To us, I might add. But it does help the mechanics feel very thematic. In terms of mechanics, Sagrada offers a simple yet challenging puzzle. There are several dice drafting games out there, but Sagrada sets itself apart with its easy mechanics without sacrificing depth. If this was a review for the board game, the limited competition would improve our originality rating. But unfortunately for Sagrada, there are many puzzle games available in the App Store, making it stand out less. For originality, we rate Sagrada with a 6 out of 10. The goal in Sagrada is to earn the most victory points. These can mainly be accumulated by completing objective cards. Unspent favor tokens are added to the scoring, while open spots in a player's window pattern card are subtracted. The gameplay in Sagrada is clearly organized. Sagrada is played over 10 rounds, with each player taking 2 turns per round. A turn starts with drafting a die and placing it on the window pattern card. Some spots on the cards require specific colors or numbers, but otherwise the only restriction is that the dice with the same number and or color cannot be placed orthogonally adjacent to each other. The turn order rotates clockwise until the last player has taken their turn. Then the same player takes a second turn and the turn order rotates counterclockwise until the first player has taken their second turn. Once a round is completed, the next round starts with the next player. Sagrada becomes more challenging midway through and near the end of the game as the window pattern card fills with dice. The gradually increasing difficulty makes the endgame much more interesting than the first few rounds. There are some ways to mitigate bad rolls, but in the end a poorly designed window pattern can come back to bite you in the arse. Strategic dice placement is important, but luck is also a significant factor in the game. Overall, the gameplay is quite simple, but Sagrada still manages to challenge players optimizing their play. I'd like to rate the gameplay with a 7 out of 10. Sagrada Digital reminds me of June Imperium Digital because the dire wolf signature is clearly present in the game. The app is simple yet well designed. Whether you play on a phone, tablet or PC, it doesn't really matter. Sagrada is perfectly playable on every device. The user interface assists players in placing their dice with highlighting available slots on the window pattern card. This might seem like a small detail, but it significantly simplifies the game by excluding all impossible moves. However, on the other hand, a detail was unfortunately overlooked. Direwolf did not bother to create art for the AI players. Playing against the AI feels quite abstract and unengaging, which could have been easily be resolved. Regarding the evaluation of the design, let's say that these two details cancel each other out. Overall, Sagrada Digital's design is solid. It stays true to the Sagrada art style, though the menu screens could benefit from a little bit more refinement. I would rate it a 7 out of 10. Last but not least, we should discuss the replayability of Sagrada Digital. The board game offers some variety thanks to the different objectives and the window pattern cards per game. However, the true replayability comes from the app, which offers challenges, competitive online play and even a campaign. In the end, Sagrada is still a filler game, but Direwolf Digital really went the extra mile to provide as much gameplay as possible. I would praise their effort by giving them a 9 out of 10 for the replayability. Sagrada Digital is a fine filler game. The board game is delightful, but some of its charm is lost in the digital conversion. Luckily, Direwolf makes up for it by adding a lot of extra game modes. Sagrada Digital offers a great way to become acquainted with the game, but in the long run, I'm afraid Sagrada might be overshadowed by the competing free games in the App Store. Currently, Sagrada costs $7 in the App Store, and I think it's a bit too expensive for what's on offer. It's better to wait for the next sale perhaps. Well, what do you think about it? Do you agree with my opinion? Please leave a comment on this video, give a thumbs up and even consider subscribing to our channel. That's it for now, and I'll see you in the next one.